Hi there, I'm Archer Hobson, CEO of Hound, a growth management intelligence system that helps you build your company growth engine. I created this presentation to help companies and founders understand how to improve their marketing strategy. And so I view marketing strategy as a circular process. Your analytics, how you're making decisions, who these individuals are, your buyer personas, how they're moving through your system, the tool that you're using to automate the communication and content delivery, and what content you're using and how you're aligning that with your marketing automation to attract users, and the proper IDing of URLs so that it informs our analytics. And so this can be somewhat of a daunting task if you don't understand how each of the individual parts work. And so let's go cover this piece by piece. And so the analytics system, most people are comfortable implementing Google Analytics out of the box. There's something like 115 Google Analytics reports, and this is a lot of information. But it's not an advanced, customized setup. And so once you've reached the point where you'd like to know a little bit more specifically about your product or service, it's time to implement a more advanced version of Google Analytics, or move to a more product-focused analytics system. And so we create and work with the team to create an analytics reference document and identify all of the individual event names that a user could take on your site, along with specific pieces of information with those events. So if a user selects a piece of content and that happens to be a product on your e-commerce site, we want to send along things like price, product category, so that we can better understand how users are interacting with specific pieces of content on our site. Buyer personas is really just getting into the mind of the user. It's one of the more fundamental aspects of marketing strategy that individuals just don't do, because it's tough to sort of align who these people are with what they are trying to get them to do on the site. So we just want to get in their mind, understand challenges, understand incentives, and understand where they hang out, and understand each of the individual personas, because it sets the stage for our other marketing strategy core pillars. The buyer journey, extending from each of the individual buyers, understanding strategically how these people move through our system, the time frame that it takes at each stage of the marketing funnel, the content that we want to serve up to them, whether that's a demo because they're ready for a sale, what their goals are and what our goals are, try and find alignment, where they came from, what marketing channels and content are we serving up to them. So really a high-level view of how these people are moving through our system. Marketing automation is providing that automated communication and content delivery layer to the buyer journey. And so it consists of two parts, automation sequences at each stage of the marketing funnel, and automation tags. So you need a real tag strategy for understanding how these individual users, whether they're engaged or unengaged, and understanding whether or not your marketing automations are functioning properly. And so an organization document like this is super helpful in understanding whether or not that's working or not correctly. Lastly, we want alignment with our content to our marketing automation. And so specific content categories, this will vary, company to company. So, in our example, we have an email marketing, Google Analytics, and social ads. So when a user signs up after consuming that content, we want to tag them with those specific categories, and then we want to send them down specific automation paths so that not everybody's getting a blanket marketing campaign sequence. They're getting customized, tailored, unique communications and content that keeps them engaged, so that we can move them further down the funnel and educate them and potentially turn them into paying customers. Lastly, the campaign URL strategy is how we attach information to each of those individual content links, so that we can inform our analytics system. And so, an email that comes from our email newsletter, or a user that comes from a social advertisement, each of those serves with specific pieces of information. So we need a document that details how to properly structure our links in order to inform our analytics system, so that we can understand what marketing inputs are responsible for the best growth output, so we can understand a return on our investment. So as you can see, it's a little bit more circular now. Our analytics is informed by who these people are, where they are coming from at a high level strategy, and how they're going through our system, what that system we use in order to deliver communication and content, and the content that we end up creating to attract those people in the first place. How are we aligning that with our automation, and then tagging that properly so that it informs our analytics system? So very circular. We have two consulting packages: a custom implementation, where you rely on our expertise, where we have typically a 4-week project setup. We'll create all of the reference documents and then provide training to your team, so you know that you get it done correctly, and then we'll train the team about how that was implemented. Second, I think a little bit more preferable is the workshop, full-day workshop. We'll come on site and do a custom presentation and cover all of the individual core aspects of the marketing strategy through individual modules. And so we have two options that allow you to sort of improve your marketing strategy simply. And so if you're interested, our contact details are at the end of the presentation. Thank you.